You're getting all the videos today. You're getting everything, all the updates you want. Ray, we're going to the 3-year-olds. 3-year-olds, we did the yearlings, did the 2-year-olds, going to do the 3-year-olds. There's not a ton. I think there's 20 some left. Some of these will be sold. Still a ton of horses here. So let's start right away with Ailsund. I had said to Tim, I can't go Wednesday. It's just not possible. I wish I was there for Ailsund. I'm a little concerned how she's going to make out, but as I said to him, I want him to draw our blood. I want all the bloods drawn on all the horses we're about to race. I think there's a little something went through Tim's barn, and certainly not Tim's fault, but at the same time, I want to make sure that these horses aren't racing. If they have high livers, just scratch them. I don't want them raced. I know how, just to put it in perspective, Oso Pine's GGT was high, Bottle of Reds was high, and we scratched her. Now, high normal. So the high end of acceptable to a veterinarian was 35, which was Arctic Force's liver count the other day, and look how he raced. So anywhere near high normal or high, just scratch the horses, give them a couple weeks off if we have to, and then do it right, because you can be certain they're not going to race good at all. So Ailsund, not to say Ailsund's was high, I'm not trying to say that. We're going to take her blood tomorrow and see what that level is before we start talking about racing Ailsund on Wednesday. Arctic Force, I guess this just in, we sold Arctic Force. He is going to Dover, but not with us. Gentleman that had bought a horse off us before bought him. I'm sure he's going to do okay with them, but at the end of the day, I had a couple of trainers tell me what they thought of the horse on his lines, what they thought of the horse overall, and every single one of them's price for the horse come in under what we received for the horse. So I know that Kenny and a couple of people that own the horse maybe would have liked to keep racing them and trying them, but at the end of the day, all we are going to do if we continue to go down the road we're at, I talked to, as I said, I talked to Jim King. He said there's not a whole lot for him here in Dover, which I thought there was. And if he's telling me there isn't, there isn't. So it made sense just to take a look at what we have, what we're trying to achieve here, what we'd like to do, and does Arctic Force fit into that? I think Arctic Force will be a decent 4-year-old. You know, a few more races under him, shut him down, bring him back fresh. He could be a good horse, but you have to find classes for him. As is, I can only work with what is right in front of me. I can't work on hopes or prayers or, you know, try and extrapolate what he might be like if everything went well and he get turned out and he come back great and his feet weren't bothering him up front. I can't do that, though. I have to look at reality also. The reality of the situation is, for what we got for the colt, I think it was as good as we're going to get right now. Beach Boutique is almost ready to go also. I suspect we'll probably race her throughout the fall into the winter. And again, is this a horse we're going to keep? I think Beach Boutique, a fresh Beach Boutique in those classes can do some damage. And then at that point we can look at, now we're getting into breeding season. I'm not talking about breeding Beach Boutique, but she is a well-bred filly. So here's a filly racing well, coming into breeding season. There may be some people looking for her. We are going to sell a couple of mares that we were offered pretty good money for. Beach Boutique might run along those lines also. So again, we're going to focus on our yearlings, our 2-year-olds, and our very productive 3-year-olds and older horses. And is Beach Boutique going to fit into that mold? Probably not. Even the next horse, Bottle of Red, probably isn't going to also. We were going to sell Bottle of Red last week, and then we took her blood, her GGT come back at 150, which is about 5 times the top end level is. It's very high. You might ask yourself, well, what causes it? A lot of things could cause it. My hypothesis would be maybe a little bit of hay that wasn't, maybe a little, some flakes that were a little moldy or whatnot. And the reason I think that is because it's not like these horses were on anything, and every single one of our horses had varying levels of liver enzyme elevation, I guess, liver count elevation. Tim had some also. It looks like it's something they would have to ingest, I would imagine, and they don't all get supplements, the same supplements for sure, but even some supplements they don't get. So I don't think it would be something like that. I really think it's something as easily explainable as maybe a few bad bales of hay. So you wonder why we feed a lot of hay cubes. This is why, because quality control for hay, you just don't know. A guy like Tim, you know, beautiful hay comes in, he pays for it, he wants the best kind of hay he can for his horses. He's trying to run the best ship he can. Lo and behold, maybe in the middle of the load, there's 2 or 3 bales that are a little moldy, a little bad. And that would be my guess. That's not to say that it was, but that would be my guess. So Tim's working his butt off to try and get those liver counts down and get those numbers back in check. As I said, when Bottle of Red gets back good, again, she'll probably wind up on the block. Canadian Titan is going to come back this week and start jogging. Want to get a good look at Canadian Titan and how she looks. She's had a lot of time off. She had a knee that looked like it was trying. She was trying her hardest to have her not break her knee, but there was a line there. And the veterinarian said, listen, if she breaks that could be her career. If she doesn't break it, you'll be fine. That wasn't a coin I was willing to flip, and we have to do what's right for the horse. So we simply turned the big girl out for a while, brought her back. She'll be coming back in this week. Capistrano. I had a very long conversation with Tom Grossman from Blue Chip Farms about a couple of mares we had. Just want to make sure I was going down the right route and what our options were out there. And Tom very much liked the breeding of Capistrano and had decided that he may be able to work something out with us. But I don't know if we'll be able to. As far as shadow play or Bettor's Delight's concerned, Capistrano's not a big filly. And I would rather her go to someone like down by the seaside, Huntsville, somebody that I've seen the yearlings out there, and they're all monstrous. That's kind of what I'd like to see now. I talked to John a little bit about it. I'm a layman as much as you out there. If you're just an ordinary person saying, geez, why do you like that? I just like the size of the horses I'm talking about. As far as what crosses best, I'm not the guy to ask, but you can be sure I'm asking the questions to the right people. So we'll find out what we're going to do with Big Cappy in the near future. Changing the Guard, another horse. We bought him to resell him. He had a first 2 seconds. He was fourth the other day. Now he drew the 9-hole. So I'd like to see him bounce back with a decent trip this week and see what we can do with him. He's going to be on the block also. Compass Rose DC, I don't think will be. We're going to hang on to her. I think once we get through a couple of these classes, put a little bit of money away, we can shut her down. I think she'll be a pretty decent 4-year-old. Am I talking, Spirit Dio globetrotting 4-year-old? No. But I think she'll be a pretty good 4-year-old for us. I like everything I see about this filly right now and everything she's doing. Her attitude has changed. She's stronger, she's quicker, and she's understanding her work very, very well. I've always liked Compass Rose DC. I've always thought her attitude was skeptical. Not now. She's on the straight and narrow now and looks like $1 million. Don't believe me, just watch. It's back in to go on the condition claimer Tuesday. A little unfair. I know Kevin was lobbying to keep this horse in the non-winners of 2, and I left it up to him, but when you draw bad or you get 2 bad trips in a row, there's not much you can do. But sure enough, there'll be a good spot for him. There'll be a soft landing spot in this class. He did well last time. I expect to do well again in this class coming up this week. Globetrotting's got 1 start left. That is the Matron in Dover this coming Thursday. After that, she's done for the season. I want to give her a long rest. I'm talking 3-4 months off and bring her back. I'm not in a big hurry to have her back, same as we did last year. If we have her ready for June, July, that's perfectly fine for me. I think Globetrotting's got a bright future ahead of her. And this has not been a good year for her. I know she's put some money away, and I know she's trotted in 54, and she's had some real good shining points this year. Not anywhere near where we thought, and I can tell you why, because she hasn't been the soundest. She tied up once. Her liver jumped in the last time she raced poorly at the Meadows. She's done the best job she can, and I truly believe that this filly will be an exciting 4-year-old for the stable.ca, and I want to make sure that she is 100% when she comes back to the track. Best way to do that, give her time off. I'll play it alone. He's not long with us. A poor bugger. Drew 9. Was sick last week. His first start he raced great. Then he was sick. Now he drew 9. But we can't keep hanging on to him forever. I need him to be healthy for a month, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Draw decent in that class that he can do in. That's what I want to see. I really thought we made the right choice after week 1 when he was second in 54 in a piece. Now I'm starting to rethink my decision. So we'll see how I'll play it alone does. Well, we're not going to see how he does this week. I can tell you how he's going to do out of the 9-hole. Not very good. So we'll see how he is next week. Miss Brampton Beast is ready to go again. Kevin had told me she'd been in 2 minutes. I suspect she'll be in to qualify soon. Muscle Chrome is getting ready to go. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. I'm going to race her a little bit and breed her. Are we going to sell her as a broodmare? I did have a couple of people ask if we had any more broodmares for sale. Kind of. So I'll see where that line takes us. Need Your Opinion will be ready to go next week. Kevin wanted to give her a little break, a little pump your brakes before the Harvest Series. After the Harvest Series, we may see that filly surface at the Meadows also. I know that the ownership dynamic of that filly has changed from 15 people, 18 people to 3. Those people were almost leaning at sending her to the Meadows right away, and I said, well, why would you do that? she's a good filly. She's got the Harvest Series left. Let's worry about that first. So I think that's what we're going to do. Path of Totality, she's only got a couple of starts left. 9-hole again. My God, this filly draws poor. Like, it'd be nice if she just drew 2, 3, 4. Just 4 or 5 starts in a row. If I could get 3 starts into her, what I'd like to do is put a decent, she's got a decent mark this year. I'd like to put a good mark on her. I think she's a way better horse than her lines and her money earned would allude to. I think I could put a real good mark on her, put some money away, take some of that money and get that little chip taken out of her knee, and then give her the rest of the winter off. Again, given that if we do, we will be doing the surgery on her. It doesn't seem to affect her right now, but it will in the future. If you have a chip in your knee, it is going to affect you. There's no two ways about that. So I think what we'll do is do the right thing. Just pop that chip out of there. Give her a nice time to heal. Come back. You'll probably see her be on the same time frame as Globetrotting, probably. Really Blue Chip is almost ready to go. James said he went around 2.6 the other day with her. Probably go back one more time in the bike, then schooler, then qualifier. She'll be ready to go close to December 1st. Rooney Blue Chip, I did put him up for sale, but with such poor lines as last two, wasn't a whole lot of people knocking on the door. Some tire kickers offered us nothing for him, and I told him no. I know Rooney Blue Chip will be fine. Again, I don't think he's been on the top of his game. His knees aren't the problem that he's racing poorly. But a bad trip, he was weak, scope full of mucus, and then now we haven't sold him. So we'll put a couple of lines on him and try and get him sold as soon as possible. Spend that money. He's going to be out for a good 60 days, 80 days, 75 days maybe. She's been out for 2 weeks now. So a good 2 months from now. So January before I spend that money, we'll even start back probably. Yes, this January. Spirited Dio is out now. She's gone to the farm in Ohio. She's going to remain there for about 3 months, 2 months. Again, I don't want to have these horses started up too early in their 4-year-old season. The transition is difficult enough without being a filly, potentially having to race against other horses, let alone fillies if we race her in overnight races. I think she showed the other day that she has the ability, potential. You could extrapolate what you saw over the last 2 weeks and say, yeah, she can probably race with those better fillies in her 4-year-old season, and I think that's exactly what we're aiming to do. Trafalgar's got maybe 4 or 5 starts left, and we'll see what we're going to do with her. I gambled that this filly I had talked about breeding or selling all the other horses in that type of division that we have, but Trafalgar I think will be a decent 4-year-old for us. We'll see what comes about of that. Watch Avenue and Zeb Sunshine are in the exact same boat. We gave them the same time off to bring them back to hopefully race them at Mohawk throughout the winter. That was Kevin's plan. He ran it by me. I think it's a fantastic plan, and it is exactly the plan we're following. So Watch Avenue and Zeb Sunshine are both back jogging now at Tamiko. That's all the 3-year-olds we have left. There's a couple more that are looking to maybe leave this list, but these are the 3-year-olds we have left. I'm going to be talking about the 2-year-olds in just a minute.